For the headlines, Pence, Trump vows to fight bigotry in all forms. 9 protesters were arrested as dozens defy a deadline to leave Dakota pipeline protest camp. Scientists discovered 7 Earth-like planets orbiting the same star outside our solar system. Plus, global church Iglesia ni Cristo's aid to humanity sends relief to Panama. And DC Fashion Week wows the nation's capital. You are watching Eagle News Washington, D.C., broadcasting from the United States Capitol, bringing you stories from around the nation. I am Sarah Nachman. Days after vandals toppled about 170 headstones at the Chesed Shell and Meth Society Cemetery in St. Louis, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence said that President Donald Trump has vowed to fight bigotry in all forms as he addressed anti-Semitism during a visit to a factory outside of St. Louis.
Speaking just yesterday, President Trump called this a horrible and painful act.
President Trump delivered his first public condemnation of anti-Semitic incidents in the United States on Tuesday after a new spate of bomb threats of Jewish community center around the country and vandalism in the Jewish cemetery. The JCC Association of North America said several of the centers were evacuated for a time on Monday after receiving the threats. According to police, another center was evacuated on Tuesday morning in San Diego, California. The comments mark a change for Trump, who had not explicitly and publicly condemned the threats against Jews when asked last week. Instead, he spoke more generally about his hopes of making the nation less divided. The president reacted with anger at a news conference last week when a journalist from a Jewish magazine asked how his government planned to take care of a rise in threats. Pence spoke of his own recent visit to a concentration camp in Germany alongside a guide who was a survivor of the Holocaust.
But before he left, he spoke words that touched my heart and I'll always carry with me throughout my life. And they resonate with this moment today. He spoke of that hellish existence in the waning days of the war, and then he looked up at me with a smile and he said, "Then the Americans came."
At least 9 people were arrested as a few dozen demonstrators opposed to Dakota Access Pipeline defied a Wednesday deadline to leave a protest camp they have occupied for months to demand an end to construction of the project. Juan Blanco reports.
President Donald Trump has pushed for the completion of the multi-billion-dollar pipeline since he took office last month, despite objections from Native Americans and environmental activists who say it threatens the water resources and sacred land of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Republican Governor Doug Burgum and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had set a 2 p.m. Central Standard Time deadline for protesters to leave the Oseti-Sacoan camp located on Army Corps land in Cannonball, North Dakota. As freezing rain and snow fell, some demonstrators ceremonially burned tents and other structures at the camp in what they said was a tradition before leaving a dwelling place, but others said they were going nowhere. Reporters said around 36 protesters gathered near the camp entrance as the deadline passed. About 20 police vehicles waited up the road and a few dozen protesters remained in other parts of the camp. Protesters and law enforcement have clashed multiple times and hundreds of people have been arrested since demonstrations began in August. The Standing Rock Sioux asked protesters to leave the area in December as they challenged the pipeline plans in court, but some 300 demonstrators had remained. State officials have set up a travel assistance center to provide departing protesters with food, water, and health checkups, as well as a voucher for one night's accommodation at a Bismarck hotel and a bus ticket home. President Trump signed an executive order clearing the way for the $3.8 billion pipeline to proceed. A judge denied a request earlier this month by two tribes seeking to halt construction. The tribes are seeking an injunction to order the Army Corps to withdraw the easement. According to court documents filed Tuesday, the pipeline will be complete and ready for oil between March 6th and April 1st. For Eagle News, I am Joanne Blanco, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Joanne. Coming up, scientists discover 7 Earth-like planets orbiting the same star outside our solar system. Plus, global church Iglesia ni Cristo's Aid to Humanity sends relief to Panama. And DC Fashion Week wows the nation's capital. Eagle News Washington, D.C. will be right back. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News Washington, D.C. A recent NASA discovery confirms existence of 7 Earth-like planets in a solar system that scientists say are relatively close to ours. EBC's Eliza Gonzalez-Manglikmot speaks with NASA's Astrophysics Division Director Paul Hertz about the astonishing discovery. Take a look.
We are here at the NASA office in Washington, D.C., where NASA just announced discovery of 7 potentially habitable planets. The record-breaking discovery of the greatest number of habitable zone planets found around a single star outside our solar system was revealed today. Associate Administrator of the Science Mission Directorate Thomas Zurbuchen, in a press conference, confirms the existence of the Earth-like planets. Zurbuchen said there are 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting the nearby TRAPPIST-1 star, about 40 light-years away, and that 3 of these planets are in the habitable zone, where liquid water can pour on the surface, and with the right atmospheric conditions, there could be water on these planets. Astrophysics Director Paul Hertz said 3 of these planets, TRAPPIST-1e, 1F, and 1G, bear the most similarities to Earth. You said 7, but there are 3 that is in TRAPPIST-1, the TRAPPIST-1 system. What makes these 3 different or special?
So 3 of the planets are in the distance from their star where they get about the same amount of sunlight as the Earth gets from the sun, so that liquid water could exist on their surfaces. The other 4, depending on what their atmospheres are like, they could have oceans under their surfaces, but these 3 would have water on their surfaces.
Aside from water and similarities in atmosphere, similarities to Earth, what are the requirements that would make life thrive, human life?
Right, so what we've learned on the Earth is that everywhere on the Earth where we have water, energy, and nutrients, life takes a hold. And that could be here where we are, of course, but the bottom of the ocean, the tops of mountains, the tops of the atmosphere, in thermal geysers. I mean, some of the weirdest places on Earth has life if it has those 3 characteristics. So in our search to understand whether there's life in the rest of the universe, we're looking for places that have liquid water, energy, and nutrients. And so the first thing is to find solid planets like the Earth, not like Jupiter, that are the right distance from their star, so they might have liquid water on their surface. And 3 of the planets around TRAPPIST-1 definitely have that characteristic. The other 4 might have that characteristic.
About 40 light-years away from Earth, these newly discovered planets that are outside our solar system are said to be relatively close to us. But physically reaching them in our lifetime is still far from reality. Scientists, however, believe that this recent discovery has made this more possible for future generations. Sarah Seeger, professor of planetary science and physics of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Cambridge, said that 20 years ago, her peers dismissed the work as stamp collecting. The fact that they are here today with 7 planets, knowing their atmospheres may be studied in the future, is tremendous. Paul Hertz said this discovery just leads to more.
I think this is just another big step. I think that next year we'll be having even more amazing discoveries. And after we launch the James Webb Space Telescope, which is many times more powerful than the Spitzer Space Telescope or even the Hubble Space Telescope, with that capability in space, we'll be making additional discoveries that I think will tell us even more about the possibility of life in the universe.
In the coming year, NASA says there's more to look forward to as we get to know other systems like TRAPPIST-1.
So I think that everybody should be really excited about the year 2018. Next year, in the first half of the year, we'll be launching our next exoplanet hunting telescope, a telescope called TESS, and TESS will survey all the stars like TRAPPIST-1 in the sky, looking for more systems like TRAPPIST-1. So we'll find all the other systems that are just as exciting as TRAPPIST-1, and then at the end of 2018, the James Webb Space Telescope will launch, and this is the successor to Hubble. It's got 10 times the size mirrors as Hubble's mirrors, much more powerful, and we'll be studying exoplanets and many other phenomena in the universe with the James Webb, and we'll be learning all sorts of things then.
NASA scientists here say that the question now left to ponder upon is not if we will find life on these other planets, but when. Reporting from the NASA office here in Washington, D.C., I am Eliza Gonzalez Manglik-Mott, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Eliza. Imagine a second Earth somewhere out there. Amazing. Global Church Iglesia Ni Cristo's Aid to Humanity program sends relief to Panama. And DC Fashion Week wows the nation's capital. That's next. Eagle News, Washington, D.C. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Global Church Iglesia Ni Cristo brings its Aid to Humanity program to Panama, where residents there receive relief goods and spiritual nourishment. EBC's Philip Toledo reports.
On February 19, 2017, the Iglesia Ni Cristo, or INC, in the region of La Chorrera, Republic of Panama, held an evangelical mission Aid for Humanity outreach project. The Aid for Humanity project in Panama was organized by 30 INC members and was led by Alan Davila, an INC minister, along with 5 other evangelical ministers in Panama. Youth members kicked off the event by performing musical numbers, followed by a Bible study to provide spiritual inspiration for all those in attendance. As a finale, the INC members distributed over 200 aid bags filled with rice, canned goods, pasta, and beans. The Aid for Humanity project aims to fight poverty and assist struggling communities worldwide, and these supplies are expected to provide assistance to the people living in the villages of Valle Hermon, Calmitillo, and Los Mortales, all located within the city of La Chorrera. The INC members of Panama will continue to reach out and take care of their fellow men in need. Reporting for Eagle News, this is Philip Toledo, and I am 1 with 25.
Thank you, Philip. EBC's Lynn Pence takes us to the first day of the much-anticipated runway fashion extravaganza in the nation's capital. The DC Fashion Week, take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Lynn Pence and I'm here on day 1 of DC Fashion Week. We are here at Impact Hub in Washington, D.C. and we're very excited to be here and we're glad to be part of this theme tonight, which is eco-fashion. And I have with me the organizer of the event, really, and her name is Jan Baker.
Hi, how are you? Good. How are you?
Good. I really love what you have going on for everybody here and for eco-fashion. So tell us a little bit about this whole event that you put together.
No problem. I partnered with Ian Williams of DC Fashion Week because, number one, this is the second event that we've done together. We've done another fashion show again together 3 years ago. But since I started running Impact Hub DC and I love fashion, I wanted to bring both of those worlds together. I think there's a myth that you can't look good and be sustainable at the same time. A lot of times I think eco-fashion and sustainable fashion gets a bad rap for being like really ugly clothes and just sweatshirts and things like that. But this shirt right here is from Zara and it was made from, thank you, it was made from recycled cotton and upcycled cotton. So I want to take away that myth that you can't look good for an affordable price, and that it really is important because we are a mission-driven organization for people to really care about who's making their clothes, how much they're getting paid, are they being treated fairly, is the environment being treated fairly to make your clothing, that you should really care.
Okay, great. So what do you like about the collections today?
Number one, I like that they are diverse entrepreneurs, they're especially women, but also that they represent the local economy here in Washington, D.C. It's really important to keep entrepreneurship flowing throughout the city, and that creates jobs. So we're all about entrepreneurship here, and that's what makes me happy. But I thought that it's really eclectic palettes. I saw that, I love that last dress with the I guess it's a boudoir, something in the skirt. And I've seen some of this work already, and I just know that DC also gets a bad rap for not being very fashionable. DC has a lot of government buildings. People think that there's no weekend life here, but it's absolutely not the truth. And I'm from New York, so I have a pretty high standard when it comes to judging what's a good fashion week and what's not. So I really think that with Ian doing this for over almost 20 years, he knows a little bit about what he's doing, and he's been doing a great job at that.
Here with me, I have Rebecca Ballard. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thanks. How about
great.
you?
I'm very good, thank you. So today's theme was very eco-friendly, eco-fashion. And what can you tell me about your collection and your brand?
Well, so I want to start out just with something about the industry that I think is a little known fact, that the global garment industry is the second worst polluting industry in the world after oil and gas. And my background is in law and is in advocacy, and I think that consumer advocacy through our purchasing power is increasingly important every year. So at Maven Women, we create clothing that is really geared towards the working woman, the busy woman, the professional woman, the urban woman, who wants something that is going to be very flattering to her natural figure, and also wants something that is going to have a little bit of an extra special twist, and then it's going to be eco-conscious and is going to be treating people well every step of the way. So that's what we do at Maven Women. We have this beautiful artisanal organic block printed liner. Our clothing is made out of certified organic cotton that's certified by the Global Organic Textile Standard, and it's created in a fair trade factory called Mahara Shah in India that I visited a couple of months ago. We're seeing how the fabric is being dyed in a socially conscious way, meeting the people, learning about how really the factory operates as a family. Fashion can work a lot of ways, and I think it's up to us as consumers to think about how we want it to work and make decisions in accordance with that.
Now we have a lot of designers out here from all over the world, and I have with me here one of the designers who was featured today here. So please tell us your name.
Hi everybody, I'm Rawan Bahabri. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm studying at Howard University for fashion designer major for master.
Oh, great. Nice to meet you, and very nice to have you here. Very beautiful collection, by the way. What was your impact on today's fashion, your eco-fashion today?
Actually, I'm working for my thesis in Howard University for collection to mix it with the beading and painting for everything. So it's not gonna hard for me in future. It's just like one thing, like painting. I'm professional for painting, manual, and perfect than the digital. So for me, I like beading. So I would like to explain the people how rich women and the high world classic, she can wear the expensive thing, buy jewelry, buy crystal, to show people I'm rich, but she's
and still look beautiful. What are some of your inspirations?
The Beyonce, she wears sometime jewelry. As you say, some design model, she wear the silver and the beige one. She can wear it without clothes under, like a Beyonce she wear it.
Right.
But different culture, different city, I have to put something under.
Here, again, day one with DC Fashion Week with the theme eco-fashion. So once again, I am Lynn Pence, and I am one with 25.
Thank you, Lynn. Follow our fashion team as they bring us daily updates on DC Fashion Week happening here. That is today's Eagle News Washington, D.C. Join us again next time as we bring news that matters to you. Visit our website at Eaglenews.PH. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. I am Sarah Nackman, and I am one with 25.